In this edition of Southern Newsweek, after many years of work, a Dunedin man finishes building a giant piano. 2 Invercargill schools make a positive contribution to the environment. And in Queenstown, a school starts up a radio station. Kia ora, I'm Melissa Barton. What could be the world's largest piano is at home in Dunedin. The 1.2-tonne instrument is about the same length as a 10-tonne truck, not something easily stored in a concert hall, let alone someone's house.
Some people say size doesn't matter. However, this 6-metre long, 1.2-tonne behemoth is certainly a whopper. Created by Dunedin's Alexander Mann, this is a larger-than-life version of the classic member of the tuned percussion family of instruments.
The piano is 18 foot 9 inches long, or 5.7 metres, and I get a lot of even piano techs come along and they say, why is it exactly that, why did you design it for the length or something? And I said, no, that's how big the shed was that it was built in. It was exactly that big.
With a bit of Kiwi ingenuity, he says his creation is now fairly mobile, despite it being quite the heavyweight.
It weighs 1.2 tonne, so it's a fairly hefty weight. We actually towed it down with the car on a trailer. It was a lot of towing, and put up this big steel beam so we can lift it off the trailer or onto a trailer if it needs to go out or in. So it's fairly mobile now, the piano, I think.
Mann began making the piano when he was just 16 years old, and says his labour of love took 4.5 years to build and gave him plenty of life lessons along the way. Despite its girth and weight, Mann says it's been quite the well-travelled instrument.
It's lived in Timaru all of its life. It's been up to Auckland, up to Hamilton, and it's been down to Dunedin before, but now it's sort of living here in this workshop that I'm leasing.
Mann's fascination with piano building started when he was around 12 years of age, when he began taking piano lessons. Now in his 20s, his labour of love has become his source of income, with his business called Alexander Pianos. Darryl Baser, The South Today.
Dunedin's Ravensbourne Boating Club is holding an open day mid this month for young people to learn to sail. Rudy Adrian visited the club to meet those who have learned to sail with the club in previous years.
The Ravensbourne Boating Club is lucky to have Eric Stibbe involved in teaching youngsters the technique of sailing, especially when he is the former coach for both the Australian and Canadian Olympic sailing teams. Stibbe says the sport of sailing requires thought and attention.
It's not only the sailing skill, it's learning about the weather, learning about the water, learning to operate in a team, logistics, especially when they go to competitions, the travelling where you have to bring your equipment, and so it's a bit more than just the physical aspect, and there's a lot of thinking involved as well on the water.
World-renowned sailor Sir Russell Coutts learned to sail in this harbour, and he has been instrumental in helping the club acquire these modern plastic big sailing craft for young people to learn to race with. Kaya Reese says Coutts inspired him to stick with competitive sailing.
Russell Coutts took me and 2 other people from the club to Italy for the World Championships, and I wouldn't mind doing like in the Olympics in a class or the Volvo Around the World race. That'd be pretty cool.
The Ravensbourne Club helps make sailing affordable for young people by having boats available for use at a modest fee. Anna Walland has been sailing for 4 years and says she stumbled into sailing by chance.
We came down here for my brother, but he didn't really get into it. So I just went out one day in Opti and I liked it. So.
Renee Mullins said that sailing was a sport that provided her with plenty of adrenaline.
You get kind of a rush from it, I guess. Some people might get it playing rugby or something, but I get it from sailing.
Their sailing coach feels that everyone should learn to sail.
I think sailing is a sport for life. You can do that at all ages, and you can do it competitively, or you can cruise or just go for a sail. So just having those skills is a nice thing to have. The
Ravensbourne Boating Club is holding their Learn to Sail Open Day for young people on the 15th of October, the last Sunday of the school holidays. Anyone aged between 7 and 18 is invited to check it out and get their feet wet in a new sport. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Two Invercargill schools were racing to clear the city of unwanted plastic bags in a new competition. Southland Boys and Southland Girls High Schools have accepted the Invercargill City Youth Council's challenge to collect the most plastic bags in a week. Sharon Reese has more.
Southland Boys High pupils Jack Johnston, Bailey McClelland and Brandon Crowther show the extent of a week's hard work. These boys are among the Year 7 and 8 pupils who have been roaming their communities and knocking on doors to collect as many plastic bags as possible.
We have intermediate competition who can get the most plastic bags out of all the schools. Like, get rid of all the plastic bags to keep the country clean.
The challenge was put to them by the Invercargill City Youth Council, who are on a mission to identify environmental issues affecting the city.
We had discussions with WasteNet and, we kind of, in our kind of project implementing stages, and we said to, them what is relevant down here. We were looking at bottle drive and they said, well, actually we think we're managing glass quite well and people, understand that and are recycling it. She said if you wanted to attack something, maybe look at plastic bags, especially with the wind and things that we often see them floating around.
A single bin was provided for schools to store their bags, but after Boys High pupils exceeded expectations, the bags started piling up.
They are collecting a lot more bags than we imagined, so they've currently got around about 5,000. So we provided them with one bin, which was only enough for one classroom, and we're looking at 11 classrooms, so that's really exciting.
All bags collected will be donated to the Invercargill prison, where they'll be made into mattresses for the homeless. The competition ends on Friday the 28th, and the winning school will receive a park bench made entirely from recycled materials. Sharon Reese, The South Today.
More than 20 North Canterbury schools have come together last week to celebrate Māori culture. The two-day North Canterbury Kapa Haka Festival was first held in 2006 with just 6 local schools performing and has grown over the years. The South Today went and had a look.
21 North Canterbury schools, some with both senior and junior Kapa Haka groups, took to the stage in Tuahiwi, just north of Christchurch, yesterday and today. Festival MC and former Tuahiwi school teacher Diane Collier says that the performers come from an ever-growing catchment.
Most of them North Canterbury. We've had some support from schools in other areas. For example, Waiata Community Campus juniors are coming to join us this time, and it just gives them an opportunity to put all that learning and practice on to an audience.
The event is designed to help celebrate the Maori language.
We wanted to see Māori language through Kapa Haka celebrated in North Canterbury and strengthened. And we believe we've done that's happened over the years with more schools wanting to be part of this celebration.
Tuahiwi's Kapa Haka Festival will be back again next year, probably bigger than ever. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
A group of Queenstown Primary School students have launched its own radio station. Shotover Sound 88.0 FM hit the airwaves for the first time last week. Mina Amso reports.
This is Shotover Sounds 88.0.
Shotover Primary School friends Stefan, Hamish, Miles and Ethan reckon they have the music know-how, the dramatic flair and the humour required to entertain Shotover Sound's young and old audience.
Hello everyone,
Shotover Primary School is thought to be the only one in the region with its own radio station. And it's been quite a project for teacher Eve McSorley.
It's always been in the pipeline to have a Shotover radio station.
Student Hamish Waters has been busy getting sponsors for the station.
Talk to them what the prices will be for how long their ad is, and if they want us to make an ad or if they've got a pre-recorded one. And if they've got a pre-recorded one, we have to check for copyright and everything.
And Stefan Hall took on the challenge of interviewing Principal Ben Whitford.
Feels weird to talk to my principal and feel like you're in control.
Mick Sawley says it's been a big learning curve for the students who are running the stations themselves.
What's a good interview question, open-ended questions, how to bring a bit of humour into it, how to keep the audience interested. So it's been really good learning for them.
Sometimes it takes quite a few tries to get things right.
Shotover Sounds run for 40 minutes once a week each Wednesday, but Mick Sawley would like to see that increased to a 6-hourly daily show and is hoping it will become part of the students' daily culture and learning.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mina and So this afternoon.
Coming up after the break, young adults in Invercargill are encouraged to get their driver's licences, and a Dunedin school makes fitting gifts for lonely foster children. Welcome back. Plans to build a lavish 17-storey hotel in Dunedin's Moray Place have been scuppered. The Dunedin City Council's Independent Commission announced the decision at a media conference last Friday. Rudy Adrian has more.
This car park in Filial Street, Dunedin, was hoped to become the location of a controversial 5-star 210-room hotel. But those plans are now on hold after the Dunedin City Council Hearings Committee declined the application. Independent Commissioner and former City Councillor Andrew Noon says the decision was influenced by the visual impact the development would have and shading effects on parts of the central city. The impact on nearby heritage buildings was also taken into account. At today's media meeting, Noon said that the hotel's shading of the Octagon had been a major influence.
Sort of the midwinter, 3 to 4 weeks, thereabouts. There'll be in the lower Octagon, sort of around the Regent Theatre, around that space there. The sun will be lost between 2 and 4.
People dining al fresco in the Octagon could have been dining in the shade if the hotel had been built. These lunch diners were not opposed to a new hotel, but thought there were better options.
I mean, I'm all for a new hotel, but I think the location and possibly design wasn't quite right for the aesthetics of the area, but yeah. I think that there's a lot of heritage buildings here, and maybe a hotel could be better utilised in a space like a heritage building, as opposed to a new one over there.
The application to build the hotel attracted 271 submissions, the majority being opposed to the application. The decision is subject to an appeal period of 15 working days. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Dunedin's Mayor Dave Cole has issued a statement that is still in support of the hotel. Young Southland parents without driver's licences are being given free driving lessons. Road Safety Southland, the Murihiku Young Parents Learning Centre and other agencies believe giving young people the skills needed to drive will lower the offending rate in Southland. Sharon Reese has more.
19-year-old Jennifer Thompson gets behind the wheel for just the second time since gaining her learner's licence. She's one of 7 girls from the Murihiku Young Parents Learning Centre, or My Place, being helped to gain their licence in a new initiative called Drive My Life.
We've had Maureen and 2 of the Invercargill policemen, Marty and Darren, come down to help us with the basic road code.
Road Safety Southland's Maureen Ducras says the project focuses on these young women due to Invercargill being noted as a high-risk area for young drivers.
Young drivers across the region is a real at-risk category, but also we've just looked at the stats around breaches of licence, and we're right up there. Let's get them respecting their licence. Let's get them valuing, the input into it and what it means going forward for them.
The new licence holders say the best thing about the initiative is being able to work together.
It was mostly the support and being able to study through and have someone there if I couldn't quite understand the question, and being able to talk about it in a group instead of just sitting there reading the road code.
Ducras says the initiative still needs help from members of the community who wish to act as driving mentors to supervise a range of practical driving experiences. Sharon Reese, The South Today.
Earlier this year, a Queenstown man elected to leave New Zealand's tourist capital and take in the surreal experience of visiting North Korea. Mina Amso caught up with the intrepid traveller Steve Wild, who shares with us some of the videos he took of the Democratic People's Republic.
North Korea, surreal, strange, modern. That's how Queenstown local Steve Wild describes the country he recently visited as a tourist. He says the capital, Pyongyang, lacked the hustle and bustle of a city, 3.5 million people. And while many North Koreans are too poor to own a car, they seemed to take pride in their country's nuclear weapons program.
Pyongyang itself seems to be a vision of the future that was conjured up in the 1970s, is the best way I can describe it. There is a lot of propaganda about it on the ground. It is used as a way to bolster the sort of, I suppose, self-assurance of the individual within the nation. The iconography there is just completely saturated with military fervour.
Wild says it's clear North Koreans are born into a regime that limits its people's freedom of choice.
The people don't seem to have any way of being able to make up their own mind through their own research.
And never a bad word is spoken of leader Kim Jong-un.
There's never any dissension about the leadership. And we would never have the opportunity to even get close to that because tour groups are so closely guarded and monitored.
Steve Wild says the country's intention to become a powerful nation is clear. Mina Amso, The South Today.
An Invercargill Girls High School business project is giving Dunedin foster care children something they can call their own. 6 Year 12 pupils at the school are putting together 100 care packs filled with all sorts of things a lonely foster child might need. The South Today took a look.
These pupils from Otago Girls High School have been busy raising funds by selling soap, generating sponsorship and soliciting donations. Nikita Gibson explained the team's motivations.
We really wanted to give back to the community, and we felt that doing this through business studies and through school would be a good opportunity to show our support for the community and the foster kids around Dunedin.
The funds that were raised have helped to buy these packs, valued at $17 each, which will hopefully brighten the lives of Dunedin's foster children.
In each pack we have the backpack, and within the backpack we have stickers, pens, personalised pencil cases, entertainment passes that have been donated to us by the community, toys, books and a scrapbook so they can keep all their things together, and memories and books and quotes.
The pupils said their project had received a positive response from sponsors within the community. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Coming up after the break, Dunedin property prices see a small increase in value, and people in Invercargill can now enjoy driving very heavy machinery. Welcome back. Dunedin residential property values continue to rise, but at a slower rate than earlier in the year, with quarterly growth of 1.4%. The average house value in the city is now more than $380,000, according to QVNZ. A Dunedin real estate commentator says it's a good time to sell.
Signs of the times. The 40% loan-to-value ratio for investors wishing to buy properties is stifling sales and forcing people out of the industry, according to property commentator Liz Nidd.
Investors, more often than not, don't work that way. They like to use leverage on other properties that they own and don't want to put a deposit in that's as big as 40%.
However, on the domestic housing front, she says the best time to list a house for sale is right now, but only if you've got somewhere to go.
This is coming up to the anniversary of 30 years for me in the industry, and I have never seen such a low supply of listings. So what that means is that properties are still going out the door very quickly. There are a lot of people waiting, but I think more importantly there's a lot of people waiting to put houses on the market because they can't find anything to look at.
She says October is the month in which more people list their houses for sale, and the Dunedin market will welcome more listings.
This is the month where listings often loosen up a bit and there's more comes to the market because people see, well, Christmas is looming and this is a very good sales period between now and Christmas. So hopefully some more will come on and then that's going to make other people more relaxed about listing their properties that they've been holding on to.
Her comments are on the back of Quotable Value NZ figures released this morning, which show many multiple offer situations are becoming more frequent due to the competitive nature of the market, fuelled by a lack of supply. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
It was a case of last man standing at the University of Otago this Thursday. A contest was held on campus with 32 students standing for 10 hours to win the use of a van for a year. Jack Conroy was there.
It was a test of wills at the University of Otago campus yesterday as 32 students latched onto a van to use for a year. The last student standing would win. They seemed prepared to stick it out for the long haul, something OUSA President Hugh Baird was hoping to prevent.
Sadly, I think I've lost out here because I'm going to be here the whole time no matter what, and I don't get to walk away with the van. But hopefully we can tire them out before 1 o'clock. It's past my bedtime.
OUSA crew paraded pizzas and vouchers around the van lovers to tempt them away early and attempted to tire them out with exercises. Around 10:30 p.m, the final 2 contestants undertook a 5-question quiz. Student Will Boswell was the winner. Jack Conroy, The South Today.
Southland's latest attraction, Transport World's Dig This Invercargill, had its official opening yesterday. Inspired by a similar Las Vegas attraction, Dig This Invercargill is a playground complete with heavy machinery for customers to operate. Sharon Reese gets amongst it.
The earth moved at the official opening of Invercargill's newest tourist attraction yesterday. The official opening of Dig This Invercargill saw Southlanders ripping up and dozing dirt, something Transport World Director Scott O'Donnell says is a truly unique experience.
A number of people just love having a chance to operate machinery. It's an unusual thing to do. You know, where do you get a chance to go and run a 13-tonne or a 20-tonne digger? Invercargill's got to be about different experiences. I don't think Invercargill can go and really market beaches and mountains and lakes. I mean, that's almost the New Zealand story. The tourism products for Invercargill need to be different.
He says there are risk factors in setting up any unique business, but by delivering a quality experience, he's confident about the attraction.
This is a blind leap of faith, but most things we've done so far have been, and we live in hope that they actually do work. But generally you've got to set things up well, set your standards quite high to start with. We want to set the level high up front because we want to deliver quality outcomes for our clients.
Dig This founder Ed Munn, who created the original attraction in Las Vegas, was in Invercargill for the opening to take groups through safety procedures. But after playing with the models, it was time to try the real thing. He says people couldn't get enough of the attraction and would be back for more.
Everybody that's come off the machine so far, they've come out with a massive grin on their face, and I can guarantee they're going to come back and get some more of it.
The heavy machinery at the attraction ranges from 20-tonne diggers to skid steer and small static machines, as well as a car smashing area. Sharon Reese, The South Today.
That's all from us this week. You can go online and check us out on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, or you can keep up with Southern News via our website channel39.co.nz. I'm Melissa Barton and thanks for watching.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.